Right, we're back again for our final prediction show of the week, the fifth and final main event. We've got Janibek defending his unified world middleweight championships, WBO and IBF.
You've missed the Z off, brother. You've missed the Z off, Janibek.
He's facing Anauel Ngamissengue, the Frenchman. He's 14-0 coming in, so he's got a good record, but fair to say it's not the deepest competition. Why should we say? Just fought the once outside of France, and that was in an 8-rounder in Poland, which he won via an MD, which is pretty close. But 9 knockouts on the record, can bang a little bit. I mean, if we're being completely honest and down the middle, it's a little bit of an underwhelming opponent for Janibek if we're just being truthful. But hopefully we can see him in further unifications, or maybe even, as we discussed the other day, a move up to 168, where the real big fights are at for him at this stage of his career. He's one step forward, 2 steps back, in my opinion. Yes, the Mikhailovic fight last time out turned out to be a decent fight, but quickly grab both of your thoughts on the matchup on Saturday night in Kazakhstan.
He's 32 now, Janibek. I mean, we're talking about him having this level of opponent as a 2-belt champion at 32 years of age. It's very difficult to stay motivated and on his hype train because you get this level of fights. I mean, I'm just looking at his opponent, and his last fight, the opponent he beat, had 12 wins, 32 losses, and 2 draws in his record. He fought another guy 8-40-5. Another 8-39-5. He's only fought one guy on his record with a winning record. So this is what we're now talking
state of middleweight, Liam.
Yeah, it does. That's going to be my next thing. It shows you the state of middleweight. I mean, Janibek's best win on his record is Denzel Bentley. Now, we're very high on Denzel Bentley, especially after the Brad Paul's performance. But for a 2-belt world champion's best victory to be against a European champion, it says a lot about the strength and depth of the division. And the other champions, Adames and Lara, in the division. I mean, we haven't seen those fights. And 160 is one of the most frustrating divisions in boxing for me at the moment. I've always liked Janibek. He is explosive. He is dangerous. He's always in good fights. But I'm getting tired of this type of opponent. And now I've just read out some of his fights he's beat as recently as 2 fights ago. It just tells you everything you need to know about this fight. How he even ranks in the top 15 with these governing bodies.
Yeah. There's voluntaries, Jay. Then there's voluntaries. Like he's not a mandatory. This guy, surely.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And as we said, it's underwhelming. There's champions out there that are willing to face him, or have said that they're willing to face him. There's bigger and better fights. I'd have rather have seen him fight Denzel Bentley again, because Bentley's coming off some decent fights. Do you know what I mean? But obviously that's Brit bias. But these are the types of fights that we're expecting people to win, and they end up getting chinned. And that's the problem for champions like this that are of an age, that are coasting, keeping belts warm for themselves, not looking to challenge themselves. I don't know whether that's the case, but it doesn't seem as such. He doesn't make a lot of noise, really. He's usually one to pop up and say, well, you won't fight me, but then don't scream for it.
He goes on Twitter sometimes and puts out random tweets. But
yesterday, didn't he?
Not him though. You can tell it's not him.
Yeah, we'll be watching it, and I expect him to have a comfortable night. But yeah, again, the word of the day is underwhelmed. I'm so underwhelmed by the choice of opponent, even for a voluntary. It's a poor choice. I don't know how this kid. He's not boxed anybody of any note. As you said, Sam, he's boxed once, has he, outside of France? I don't think he's boxed anybody in the top 30 in his last 5 fights. So it's not a kind of fight I'm going to stay up to watch. It's a fight I'm going to catch in the morning. And that says it all. We're boxing nuts. We'll watch 99.9% of fights, but if I'm tired, I'm going to bed. I'm not staying up to watch this fight because I don't expect any big things from it. I'm disappointed by it. I don't know whether you can tell.
Yes, mate, it's just a whole mess. I mean, this tweet he put out yesterday, which was clearly not written by him, saying that Carlos Adames is a coward. He fights scared. He's scared to lose his title. To me, it's just, yeah, look, we now won't see him tweet for another 6 months. But the reality is...
Can I tell you how underwhelmed people must be with this fight? I've put his name into Google, right? And you scroll down, you've got his Wikipedia, you've got BoxRec, and then the headlines, the top stories are Janibek versus, how do you say his name? Ngamissengue, right? The second one is Janibek versus Mikhailovic, final face-off, and that was 2 hours ago. So that's an old article that's been regurgitated by Niall Duran 2 hours ago. They've posted the wrong bloody face-off. So that tells you everything you need to know about that opponent. No disrespect to him. He's done great things for himself, and he's got a massive opportunity, and I hope he grasps it with both hands. I don't expect much from him, but look, you've got to be in it to win it. Let's see.
Yeah, he's not even on UK TV. Dave said here,
and it's top rank, so that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, they have a deal with Sky Sports.
Roy mentioned that they are showing the Palms card. They're showing.
They'll but the Janibek one should be on in like UK prime time because it's in Kazakhstan, so I can't imagine it would be on as late as what the top. Anyway, look. Long story short, they're not showing it. And yes, Dave Jalalov is on the card. Me and the lads were just talking off camera about Jalalov's career being kind of stagnated at the moment as well. Just won the double Olympic gold, hasn't he now? Yeah. At Paris, he won in the final, beat Terra Moana along the way. But yeah, look, Jalalov needs to get in some big names at heavyweight. He needs to get involved with Riyadh season. But boys, Janibek. I'll kick us off with predictions. 4 or 5 round job for me. This anything else is
disappointing.
Disappointing, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I think so.
I think under 6 rounds for me. I think TKO.
He likes to play with his food a bit. I think sometimes Janibek, but
I don't think this kid will be able to take much. After 2 or 3 rounds, I think he'll start getting busted up to body and stuff. Like you said, Janibek will play with him for a bit and then he'll step it up, and I think he'll just overwhelm him and either knock him out or TKO him in under 6 rounds. Where are you at, Liam?
Similar, mate. I think if it's anything over 6 rounds, he will be disappointed. He likes to play with his foods, but that's normally against fighters that have a bit of something about them. His opponent here, 15, 42-2 on the guy he fought in his last fight. Come on, that's not worthy of going in there with a 2-belt title holder, is it? So yeah, inside 6, It has to be really not even a want, it's a has, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's important to caveat as well, because I think sometimes we get criticised about coming across as negative, and I don't think we're being negative about the fight, but ultimately we live in a world now where Riyadh season exists and all the rest of it.
Glitzy big fights, man. It's about the fights we want to see.
And we want to see him in big fights. Like Liam said, he's 32 years old now, and he hasn't had like that meaningful.
Hasn't had a fight as such. The fight, has he?
Yeah. Edgar Belanga's fought Canelo. Jamel Charlo's fought. These guys that have been. I know they're super middles or whatever. What Belanga is.
Eubank Jr. would have been a great fight. I'd have loved to have seen that fight up.
But, yeah, definitely. And it's a shame we didn't get the Hamza fight because that would have been a break. Janibek would have stopped Hamza, in my opinion. Obviously, we know that now, but we didn't know that.
Hamza would have been a good fight, I think.
And that would have been a big defining win on his record, to be fair, beating the up-and-comer that, has dynamite in his hands. But yeah, just... I think we're coming across maybe like this because we like him. We know how good he is. We know
disappointed, that's all, mate. We're not trying to be negative. We're giving our honest opinion, and we're all gutted because we're all massive fans of his. We want to see him in massive fights, and I want to see him in massive fights before he's 35, 36, and he's sort of gone past the point of being...
Very good, Dave. Very good. Yeah, I'm with you, Jay, 100%. But yeah, look, we'll obviously be keeping an eye on it. Hopefully, for his sake and for boxing's sake, Janibek does get the job done because we want to see him get his big opportunities in his big fights. That'll do us for tonight. Big up to Jane Liam, as always. Ryan and Dave for the interaction, lads. Much appreciated and good to see you. You got GBM tomorrow night. We've got all the big cards on Saturday night. Joyce Hergovich, obviously the biggest one of them all. And look forward to getting stuck in over the weekend. Have a good Thursday night, everybody, and we'll catch up with you over the weekend, no doubt.
Cheers, everyone.
Peace out.